We have just got a brand new trailer for Space Marine 2, and it holds a lot of secrets. I'm talking about Deathwatch confirmation, Chaos voices, Chaos demons in the background if you look closely, new weapon loadouts, certain new vehicles. So let's jump in, let's get in there, and let's get this breakdown going. So the opening image appears to be on board a Space Marine battle barge. This is where Titus seems to be talking to his new Captain Commander, which we'll get onto in a second. The reason I say it's on a Space Marine battle barge is because there's a number of Space Marines spread out across this image, and if we zoom in to the center of this command image, you can actually see that they're looking at this new Tyranid fleet, which is at the bottom right, incoming to the system. The inner core, all the planets in the middle, seem to be protected by Imperial icons, and that bottom right seems to be the Xenos icon. So the Imperium is bedding down in this sector, waiting to defend the world from this incoming hive fleet. And the next scene shows us what appears to be the assault of the Tyranids on the planet that we're going to be fighting on. Now, I did mention at the start of the video that I do think that the first image was located on a Ultramarine battle barge because of all the Space Marines, but it could actually feature on this as well. Maybe this is a star fort that's orbiting the planet. You can see the Mechanicus sigils on there, the cog axes, all the cool stuff that is in reference to the Mechanicus. So maybe this could be your base of operations where you strike from to different locations on the map, because we do know that you're going to be going to different zones, different habitats in Space Marine 2. And this could be the taxi that takes us there. The Thunderhawk has been referenced a lot of times when it comes to Space Marine 2. We saw the CGI trailer where two Thunderhawks were coming from orbit into the planet, dropping off Titus in that amazing trailer when we first got to reveal it all upon us. And now we're seeing it in the game actually dropping him off. So I theorize that the Thunderhawk transport is going to be that transportation system that gets us around the planet. Sadly, no drop port assault just yet. Now, the next scene is very interesting because we see a bunch of dead Ultramarines on the floor, but it's not about those dead blue boys, okay? It's about the shadow on the wall. You only see it for a brief second, but that appears to be a shadow of a lictor. You can just make out its top slashing claws and also its little tentacle mouth at the front. I'll put an image of the lictor on the left side and you can reference it for yourself. Do you think I'm right or do you think I'm wrong? I want to bring in another picture of the Thunderhawk for the next shot, which is coming down, because again, I think this confirms that this is the taxi system, because this seems to be lowering itself to pick up Titus. Maybe he's just finished the mission and it's time to go back. It's time to put the intel or go to the next deployment zone. Also in the background, the level where this is taking place, it seems to be up in the upper atmosphere, because you can see that space battle going on. We know in Warhammer 40,000 that we can build structures that literally dock up out of the atmosphere into space. So maybe that's where Titus is. He's very up in the atmosphere, fighting his way against the Tyranid forces, while the Imperial Navy, the Space Marine fleet that's in the background, is engaging the bulk of it. We get to see some awesome combat playthroughs when you see Titus taking on hordes, gunning them all down. But something that sticks out in this scene is that I think the developers have made a little bit of a boo-boo, because the dead Marine, you can see, who's basically spread his arms like a T, that is Titus's model. If we zoom on it and look at it, he's literally wearing the same armor as Titus. Yes, lieutenants all wear that same helmet, but he's literally wearing the same shoulder pad. He's even got the same rim and same purity seals on his armor as well. So maybe that is just type of a standard model until they get the rest of the models put into place. Now we get another awesome action shot with Titus gutting a Tyranid warrior, but the best thing for me is what's going on in the background. Look how ornate, look how golden and pearly white all that stuff is. Well, when it's not being destroyed, as it has been doing. But this brings us into another subject, is what world is this? What type of world is this? If we compare it to Space Marine 1, where it was all kind of in the mud, dust there, very, very manufactorium, because it literally was a Mechanicus planet where they made Titans. This is completely different. This is so gorgeous. It's so upper class, if you like to say. And I personally think that this could be a shrine world. Now, shrine worlds may make sense because there is going to be a chaos presence in this game, and we'll get onto that in the latter half of the video because there's some big reveals there. Shrine worlds are great storage places for chaos artifacts because the power of the faith, the power of the emperor is to be believed to protect that artifact from doing bad stuff. So you normally find some of the most secret, one of the most hidden, dangerous stuff hidden on these shrine worlds, and maybe that is what's going to bring the chaos factor into this story. Throughout the trailer, we get brief glimpses of CGI stuff. Now, it could be a brand new cinematic that's going to introduce us into the game that Focus and the Space Marine 2 developers may release at a later date, or maybe these could be epic cutscenes that are, interweaved into the game once we complete certain missions. The one that you see in the background now, this is the confirmation that this game will have free player co-op. You and 2 friends can purge together in this game, and these are the characters that you will be playing. Now, the next cutscene, which is also CGI, reveals something massive. Now, this may just seem like a normal Imperial craft being absolutely swarmed by Tyranid foes, but for those of us who are Space Marine fans and we look closely, this confirms that Deathwatch are going to be part of the game. I'm not sure if they're going to be a huge part, a small part, maybe they're going to be the integral part of this game, because that there is a Corvus Black Star. If you actually zoom onto the wing, I'll actually get another frame from the trailer to show you it, you can actually see the Inquisition symbol, which the Corvus Black Star has. Again, I'll put the Corvus Black Star up on the video as the model format, so you can identify it as that aircraft. For me, who is a huge fan of the Deathwatch, I'd love to see this. Plus, it makes complete sense because the Deathwatch are masters of taking on Xenos threats. So why wouldn't they be there? Why wouldn't they have a huge presence in Space Marine 2 when we're fighting against a huge Hive fleet? Again, we get another epic shot, and it's Titus. He's holding his ground. He's got his heavy bolt. You can see his chains where he's wrapped it around his arms and stuff. Again, that link to the Black Templars when he was taken away in SM1. But one of the great things about this shot, it shows you the scale of this conflict. It shows you that it's just not you that's fighting on this world, which was kind of what it was like in SM1. Now in Space Marine 2, the full planet is fighting, and this shot is perfect for it, because if we zoom in on the right hand side, you can see hundreds of Imperial Guard there, all lined up, firing their las guns. You see Chimeras there. They're defending this city, this defense station, whatever it bloody is. It's actually like a real battle is going on around you, and you're just one cog in this entire clock of mayhem. Now, this next shot has to be probably one of the coolest from the trailer. You are deploying in space with your jump assault kit. Again, this is what it looks like the new Primaris jump assault kit may look like. There's been a lot of talk about this. They're not going to model something that is not a model. I am 110% convinced that Games Workshop has already given these developers the design for the brand new Jump Assault kit, and this is why we're seeing it in this game. I actually theorize that we actually may have that Jump Assault kit by the time this game is out, maybe when the Space Marine Codex is out in September/August. Now, back to this image. It looks like you are going through space, descending from space, or maybe going to another type of craft, because at the bottom of the screen, just underneath the ship that's being split at the prow, like being ripped apart, that is a Space Marine cruiser. So maybe Titus, he's trying to go back to his ship. Maybe he's jumping from a destroyed ship to another ship, because this is all happening in space while the Tyranid forces, of course, are descending on the planet, and we're going to have this massive, huge space battle. Just seeing this gets me so bloody excited to potentially what we're going to see in this game. It is absolutely amazing. And the next shot, again, is showing off more co-op confirmation. This time we have Titus with his, I want to say his bolter, I'm not too sure what it is. It's got a lot of scopes on there. Anyone help me out in the comment section. But if we zoom in, we can see the other two players absolutely beating down this Tyranid warrior. One has a power sword, and the other one appears to have a thunder hammer. So both of you, well, all three of you literally can all go full melee and charge into war like good little Black Templars. And staying on the subject of co-op for a second, you not only fight on the ground, you fight in the air. Again, this image confirms that you can all equip your jump assault kits and you can just literally strike from the sky, brothers, as you come down and start purging those Xenos throws. I can't wait. There's going to be a lot of steel rain happening on my streams. Now, once the trailer ends, we're actually left with some of the most interesting bits of it, because we get a little bit of a whispered voice, which we'll get into in a second, but we also get a flash of an image, and you pause it at the right time, you see this. It's the Space Marines charging down what seems to be a Chaos warp rift, and they're charging into it, but if you look closely, and we'll zoom in on this, there's actually things coming out of it. Now, if you actually look at that, those are Chaos demons. Now, they're not just any Chaos demons. Those are Zangors. They are disciples of Tzeentch, which means that potentially in this game, we could be getting Thousand Suns. We could be getting Magnus the Red, maybe Primarchs appearing, Gilliman fighting Magnus again, 2.0. Where does this theory road end? I told you Chaos was going to be a part of this. Again, if you watched my video a couple of weeks back, I was mentioning Thousand Suns and Tzeentch and all that type of stuff, co-op and stuff, and this is now, it's all the confirmation that we need. Now, just before I go, I want you to listen to this bit of audio. If you listen to it on the normal trailer, it makes no sense. But if you think in a Tzeentchy kind of way, nothing should be taken at face value. Now, if you rewind this, this is where you start to hear words. Now, it's up to you what you think this could be. Now, if you want to replay that back a couple of times, you can hear different things, but one thing which is certain is that you can hear the word 9 and waves. So something to do with 9 waves. Now, the big thing about this is that the number 9 is actually linked to Tzeentch. So something about the number 9 and waves, there's a story in the background. The developers are slowly teasing us. Hopefully they put more like Easter eggs and stuff like this in the game, because that would be absolutely fan-bloody-tastic. Anyway, enough waffling from me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little breakdown. If I've missed anything, let me know. If you found anything, let me know in the comments. I love discussing this type of stuff. Thank you. Have a great day, and bye-bye.